Good afternoon. This is Elder G. God can woke us up one more time. God can start us on our way. God can clothe us in our right mind. And I hope and pray that all our limbs are working properly. This is Friday, August 7th, 2026. You see the chart that I got up on the screen? I'm going to talk to you and I'm going to show you how the president, the vice president, the majority in the House, the majority in the Senate, and the majority in the Supreme Court. I'm going to show you the scheme that President Trump and his 77 million minions, I'm going to break down the scheme. Look, I ain't been to college. I told you that before. I'm not an educated person as far as organized education. But I done been places and I done been around people and I done worked around people that is very educated. The boss that taught me a lot in San Mateo, California, in Redwood City, in San Mateo County, his name was Manny Wyman. He was a Jew. He had two sons that was rabbis. I used to go to his house every year for 7 years for the 4 feasts to help his wife set up booth where they had to take all the leaven and everything out of their house. I done worked in Santa Monica, California, 15 minutes down the road from Rodale Drive in Beverly Hills. I done worked in Orange County, California, and in Laguna Niguel, and Huntington Beach, and Santa Monica, and in Lake Forest, in Fullerton. I done worked in San Mateo County and Melo, Athens. I done worked in Sunnyvale, Mountain View, San Jose. I done worked right down the street from UC Berkeley. I done been around professional athletes. Bill Walsh, 4-time Super Bowl champion coach. Joe Montana. Jerry Rice. Jim Plunkett, 2-time Super Bowl champ with the Oakland Raiders. I went to the same club with Mark McGuire, Ricky Henderson. So I done been around a lot of high profile and multi-millionaires. I done worked in their community, in their stores. They done sit down at the desk with me and bought merchandise from me. I done went to their houses and set up their furniture and delivered their furniture. So for around that period of time, I've been around very educated and very successful people. And those people saw something in me. I may not have the degree and the organized education that a lot of people got. But I got something that you can't buy. I got something that's priceless. I got common sense that was given to me by God. I can hear a story, and by the time the story is over, then I'm basically ready to give you an answer. I didn't go to school to learn the answer. I learned the answer in real life. I learned the story from real multimillionaires and real successful people that saw something in me and decided that they saw something even though I didn't have the educational background. They saw something and they said, I'm going to give you a chance because I believe that there is something special about you. Not good looks, not a whole bunch of money and a big old house and fancy clothes and all that. No, I see integrity. I see respect. And I see honor. And they was willing to put everything on the line. Then give me a chance. Somebody like Al Mercer, which is a white man. Steve Berkman, which is a Jewish man. Mostly people that other than being black. They trusted me to run their store. They trusted me with thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I made money for them. And they made money for me. I can smell a scheme a mile away. Let me tell you how it works with President Trump and all his liars, okay? President Trump is taking the multi-million like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and Tim Cook with Apple and all these. When he went to Venezuela to take over, he took these big old oil executives with him. Now, let me tell you why he do that. Because as I explain, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. When you go to Venezuela, all the oil revenues in Venezuela belongs to the state of Venezuela. So that means that the oil revenue in Venezuela, it is distributed among the people of Venezuela. Are you following me? When you go to Kuwait or you go to Saudi Arabia or you go to Iraq or you go to Egypt or you go to Dubai, all the oil revenue is owned by everybody. Everybody in Saudi Arabia gets a check. Everybody in Kuwait gets a check from oil. Everybody in Egypt get a check from oil revenue. So everybody shares in the oil revenue in those countries. But not in America. The American people, we build the roads and the bridges and the infrastructure and everything for the people to get to, but all that oil revenue go to private enterprise. The American people, we build everything for them to get the oil, and then they turn around and we subsidize them not to pump oil. Can you imagine? America paid people to keep the oil level low so it won't bring down the prices. And then they start the war in Iran. So now America is selling the oil because the Strait of Hormuz is closed. America is selling something like 8 million barrels a day of oil to foreign countries. And they do that so they can get a high price from the foreign country, and they can get like $4 or $5 and $6 and $7 a gallon for America. But they taking the money from the federal government to subsidize these multi-million-dollar corporations. These multi-corporations is raking in billions and billions and billions of dollars per day. They making record profit because they're selling the oil to us high, and we subsidizing them and giving them tax breaks. And then they selling the oil high abroad. So the big oil is getting richer and richer. So Donald Trump ain't nothing but a salesman. So when he take that big executive to Venezuela, President Trump, he working in his own capacity, and he's getting a commission for every big deal he made. That oil company is giving him millions and millions of dollars. Not us now. And I'm going to prove it to you. I Googled it because I wanted to know. Before I come and talk to you, I wanted to know. So in the United States, oil is not owned by a single person or the federal government. Listen to me now. When Donald Trump talking about America is getting rich from oil, he ain't talking about us, the American people. He talking about Chevron. He talking about Exxon Mobil. He talking about BP. He ain't talking about us. You right. The oil company can make more money in 1 quarter than they usually make in a whole year. And they're just giving Trump millions and millions of dollars to use and abuse the American people. So once you got this clear, that in the United States, oil is not owned by a single person or by the federal government. So the federal government don't own land. The only thing the federal government do is lease land to Exxon or lease land to Texaco. That's all they getting is the lease price. But Texaco and Exxon Mobil, they are making billions and billions of dollars per day, and all we getting is just like you leasing an apartment. The United States ain't getting nothing except high prices. That's what the con man, Donald Trump, he ain't doing it by himself. The vice president is with him. Scott Bessent in the Treasury is with him. Congress is with him. the Supreme Court is with him. We, the American people, we subsidize billionaires and millionaires, but we cut Medicaid. We cut grants to help people go to college that can't afford it but got the grades. We cut free lunches. We cut SNAP. And we transfer all that money. We already subsidizing them. And they making all the profit. And they laughing in our face like we so big of a fool. Trump going around talking about, oh, we getting rich. No, we ain't. The oil company is getting rich. And Trump and his phony, Google it for yourself. Don't believe me. Google whoever you want to Google, how you want to do it. You want to use Grok, GDP, or whoever you want to use. In the United States, oil is not owned by a single person or the federal government. So when Trump talking all that punk stuff about we getting rich, he just coming on TV looking you in your face and lying to your face because he know that you ignorant. You don't try to find out for yourself the truth. You just sit there and you let this con man rip you off and laugh at you. He right to laugh at you. He right. See, the mineral rights, if you buy land now, you can't buy land and buy the mineral rights because that prejudiced white man, back when we didn't have no rights, that prejudiced white man already owned all the mineral rights. So if you buy land now, you can't buy what's under the land. If you buy 4,000 acres of land, and they strike oil on that land, you don't get nothing. The only thing that you're going to get is whatever you lease that land for. But the oil company is going to be the one that make billions and billions and billions of dollars. And President Trump is going to make sure that they charge you as much as they can for oil. So put this in your own little program that the United States do not own the rights to oil. They sell the mineral rights to the oil to private industries like Chevron and Texaco and ExxonMobil. So the landowners are corporations, some Native American tribes or states and some federal government. Depends on the surface land above the deposit. Whoever owns the land, you don't own the mineral right, but they got to be able to make roads. And they got to be able to put up fences. And they got to be able to drill. So they gonna lease your land, and all you gonna get is rent. But all that gold underneath your 4,000 acres of land, the oil company is gonna make billions and billions of dollars per day. And they just gonna give you the scrap. So when Donald Trump talking about America is getting rich, that's a lie. Because America, the American people is not in control of oil. The Texaco is the one that buy the lease. ExxonMobil is the one that buy the lease. BP buy the lease. Those are all private companies that we have to buy the gas from. We subsidize them to drill for it. And then they charge us $4 and $5 and $6 and $7 per gallon, and they sell 800 million barrels of oil every day overseas. That's how come they making so much profit, because of that con man. See, Congress, the House and the Senate, they are the oversight. You see all the millions of dollars that Donald Trump got from Venezuela? That money didn't go into the Treasury. Donald Trump has got that money stored overseas somewhere. The United States Treasurer don't even know where that money is. See, Scott Bessent, he's not working for us. He's working for one man and one man only. His God, Donald Trump. Scott Bessent don't care nothing about us. He care about pleasing the oil companies. He care about making those oil companies make more profit for he can get more kickback. Trump tell the people, well, I'm going to attack Iran, so oil prices are going to go up. So the people go out and buy stock in oil at $60 a barrel. No one is going to go to 100 or 120. So when he attacked, the oil go from $50 a barrel to $100 a barrel. That means you made 50% right there. That's what you call insider trading. And you go along with all that evil. That's what MAGA does. They're investing with Trump. If Trump fails, they fail. So they sell the American people out. So they can hang with the rich and the powerful. And they can put a foot around our neck and take our money and overcharge us. So remember from now on, when Donald Trump talking about the oil company, how much money we making off of oil, the American taxpayer, we are making nothing off of oil. The Texaco and the Chevron's and the BP's, those are all private companies. We ain't going to get no money from them. The only thing we're going to get at the pump is higher prices. We pump more oil in America than any company, but we got the highest oil. It ain't because our oil is so expensive. In Saudi Arabia, oil don't hardly cost nothing. Because why? Because all the people in Saudi Arabia own a share in oil. America is the only company where we subsidize millionaires and billionaires, and they make all the profits. Even if you own the 4,000 acres of land, all you're going to get is a lease fee. That's all you're going to get. And they're going to make billions. And we're going to give them tax break so they can become richer. America, you don't have to have a great education to have common sense. If I'm a liar, you can go to your comment right now. And you can go Google or look it up, and you can come back into the comment and you can tell me where I lied. But you're not going to be able to do it. Because Jeff Bezos believes, because that's who owns Google. That's who owns YouTube. Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. They believe that in the United States, oil is not owned by a single person or the federal government. Federal government ain't got no say-so over no oil and the price of oil. The mineral rights is already owned by the prejudiced white people and landowners and corporations and Native American tribe or state or the federal government, depending on who owns the surface of land. See, we own millions and millions of acres of land that's got oil underneath it, and all we get is a lease to let them come on our land and put road on our land and drill for our oil and charge us outrageous prices. We're the only prejudiced country that let that happen. And we're the only country that subsidized the millionaire, the multimillionaire, and the multi-billionaire and cut benefits for people that work and pay taxes. Do that sound godly to you? Do that sound just to you? Do that sound like something Christ would do and something that Christ would approve? Absolutely not. Think for yourself, America. You're getting screwed. And it's because of your ignorance. And you're willing to be fooled. And your willingness to be conned. One of the richest countries with the #1 GDP in the world. And we can't even supply insurance for someone's medical care. When someone get old and they can't work no more, we can't even afford and won't even pay for them to go to a nursing home or in-home care. That ain't just, that ain't godly, and that ain't right. Thank you.